Morning YouTubers! Oh, hang on, great place to start. Every time on that corner. Maybe I should just pick a different route in. Good morning, anyway. Today I was going to talk about living with depression, not so much with depression yourselves, but living with people who suffer from depression. It's kind of I think depression is one of the most common medically diagnosed mental illnesses in the UK, probably in the US as well, I should imagine. And it can take several forms. Most people tend to think of it as as being depressed, as in literally the phrase "I'm so depressed, like I can't do anything, I'm so miserable." But it's also a form of anger. So if you're living with anyone who is living with someone with real, genuine depression, will know not only do they quite often have a lack of motivation or interest in doing anything, but quite often they can be irritable and irate for no real reason. So it can be quite a difficult condition for partners, friends, relatives of a depressive person. So just a few thoughts really on the easier ways of living with this. Things that you can do that might make it easier, things that you probably shouldn't do that are likely to make it worse. I mean, the first step I would say is obviously convincing them to get some help. There are lots of treatments out there, from sort of counselling and therapy through to medication. And if they do end up along the medication route, what I would stress is that it's very important from your own point of view that you find out what the medication is, and that you have a look at the side effects. I mean, here in the UK the most commonly given one that I'm aware of is fluoxetine, which is or was Prozac, but that can have a habit of flattening people out fully. So that they're not technically depressed anymore, but they don't feel bob all, which in the long run, in my personal opinion, obviously that is only my opinion, it's a fairly pointless solution, because whilst they might not be depressed, they're also not going to be happy either, and let's face it, that's what we want for our loved ones. After that, you've got stuff like citalopram, which is a newer one. I believe that's probably got better work. I mean, years ago they used to give out amitriptyline, which was actually a painkiller and an incredibly powerful sedative. Didn't feel depressed whilst you were on it. You didn't actually feel awake ever either. So, the other things that you can do to help, obviously positive words of encouragement, talking it through with them, I often think is an easier solution. So, finding things for them to do to help them get out there and get moving again. Because it's not quite so often that they have no interest in doing things. It's just that they have no I don't know, energy, they're kind of, it's kind of as though they're missing the, I'll spit it out, the get up and go, if you like, to actually go out and find things that they want to do. And quite often, if you say to them, "How about we go do this? Let's go go-karting. Let's try rock climbing." It's little things like this where they go, "Oh, yeah, okay, and then actually they do it, they find actually that was quite good fun. Oh yeah, I enjoyed that. And it's little things like that you know, bring them out of it slowly. You know, I'm not saying that's an instant cure that's going to work for everyone, but I have found that obviously getting out, getting away from your set environment and a break from the routine for people can help. You know, shouting at them, accusing them of being lazy or being mardy, I mean, that's not going to help, obviously. But it's also can be, you know, quite grating, and quite quick to lose your temper or patience with people suffering. Because, you know, from your point of view, nothing's changed. You know, 5 minutes ago they were quite happy. Now suddenly they're slowly slipping back into this dark mood, and it can be quite a difficult thing for people. I'm sure there are possibly, you know, support forums for people suffering from depression. I mean, part of the problem, I would say, is that I'm not so sure it happens now, but it used to happen quite often years ago, that anyone who turned up at the doctor saying that they weren't feeling very happy was instantly written off for a week with depression, or depression and anxiety, I think it used to be written up as, and told to get a bit of rest. The problem being that it's almost become a much more common illness than it really is in true terms, because now everyone thinks that they've had depression, everyone thinks that they know what depression is, and only those where you truly come across someone who actually has it to a high degree, you suddenly go, oh yeah, that's it then, is it? Shit. It's not like you can fix one or two things and the depression just magically goes away, which is, you know, quite often when people are diagnosed with depression, or used to be at the doctors, that was, you know, it was, oh, I'm feeling really low, I've got no money, I'm miserable with my life. Whereas now, you know, it's, or not so much now, in my opinion, always the case with depression is that it's, I'm just going to get through here. Fuck. Is the case that you know, it doesn't matter what you've got. If you suffer from depression, you're going to be miserable, you are going to be upset, you are going to be angry, and therefore from the perspective of someone helping someone deal with it, or living with someone with it, it can be quite difficult. So I mean, anyone else out there who lives with someone who suffers from depression, or anyone who suffers from depression, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on what other people could do to help, or to make it a little bit easier, or to be that bit more understanding. You know, as I say, I've got those few things that I try, but I think it might be a bit more helpful to know what other people try. Anyway, that was my 2 penn'orth worth on it. So I shall let you all go. I'll catch you all later. Till pip.